Hey lovelies, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about skincare, and specifically skincare for mask wear. As someone who has been wearing masks every day at work for the last 3 months, I think I have some insight into this. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kelly and I am a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on YouTube I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in knowing some of the recommendations that I have for taking care of your skin when you are having to wear a mask, then let's get into it. Okay, so the way I'm going to break this down is just kind of going through the day and through our routine. We'll start at the morning and end at night before we go to sleep, because that's kind of the way that this makes sense, right? Okay, so a few of these are going to be products that I have to recommend, but some of it is just parts of our routine that I think that you either need to focus on or maybe skip, something that needs to change a little bit when you are someone that's going to have to wear a mask. This is definitely going to be a video that really gears towards people who are having to wear masks for work or wear them all day, because I don't think that you're going to have some of these concerns if you're only wearing a mask, like, you know, to go to the grocery store, things like that. So this is really keyed for people who are wearing them for several hours a day, but you might find some products or information that is helpful to you throughout this. Now, starting off in the morning, the first thing that I would have to say is use a gentle cleanser, or maybe not cleanse at all. You might just need to use a micellar water. Now, the reason that I focus on a gentle cleanse in the morning is because if you've done your due diligence at night, when you wake up, you really should just maybe have a little bit of sweat, and depending on your skin type, some oil on your skin. So you really don't need to like go in there with a powerhouse to try to clean off your skin. A lot of times just a splash with warm water and then going through, and blotting with a towel. Now, if you're not familiar with a micellar water, what it is essentially like a purified soft water that contains very gentle surfactants and a lot of times moisturizing ingredients like glycerin, and it really acts like a magnet. So those micelles tend to like pull away dirt and oil from your skin, but it's not something that you need to rinse off. So you can very easily just cleanse gently with it with like a cotton round or a reusable cotton round, which I will be talking about in a little bit. And it's a great way to just get that soft, gentle cleanse. So a lot of time in the morning, depending on how my skin is feeling, I can very easily just use a sweep of micellar water and move on with my skincare routine. Now, I have 2 micellar waters that I'm going to recommend to you guys. The first one is Bioderma, and that's the one that's like right back here. If you guys have been watching my channel, it's pretty much always back here on this little turnabout, because I use it to take off like residue of makeup, or a lot of times like wipe the foundation out of my eyebrows, those things that we have to do in our makeup routine. But this is a really great one because especially when you get the bigger size like this. Now, I will say this is sort of like the number one micellar water out there. I think most people, when they think micellar water, they think Bioderma. It does come in a few different formulas. I really just prefer this original one. I do also love that you can get it with this pump top. So this is my preferred packaging, but I do also have many different ones like these little travel sizes. Now, you can definitely also find drugstore alternatives to micellar waters. However, I have tried a few of them. They don't always cleanse as well as Bioderma, and this one also is great because it never leaves a residue. So this is a great option. Now, the other option that is a little bit more bougie is the It Miracle Water. Now, this is what I use in the morning because I know that this is going to be sitting on my skin all day long. And I just find that this has that like little something extra to it. I feel like it's a little bit more hydrating. It leaves my skin feeling a little bit more nourished. Whereas this one, while it's not drying or stripping at all, that's a great thing about micellar waters because they don't really do that to your skin. This one just feels like it pampers my skin that much more. But it is a little bit pricier. I will say I just snagged one half price from Sephora a little bit ago. So if you can get this guy on sale, it's a beautiful one to have. But if you are sitting here shaking your head at me as you're watching this, like that's never going to happen, just make sure to be using a very gentle formula in the morning. One of my favorites is the Paula's Choice Earth Source Perfectly Natural Cleansing Gel. Now, this is another one that I always get on sale because Paula's Choice offers 15 or 20% off discounts fairly frequently. But the reason that I love this is it is super gentle. It's really effective. It can still get off my makeup at night, but I don't find that it really strips my skin or leaves it feeling tight. I like that The scent of this is very, very light. To me, it almost smells like coconut water. So it's one that I really enjoy, but again, just make sure that you're using something that's very, very gentle. If you have extremely dry skin, I do really recommend trying just using the micellar water or using something that doesn't lather up at all, more of like a creamy cleanser, like a lotion type, because the more lather you have, oftentimes that means it's higher in surfactants and you're going to be scrubbing your skin more, which can lead to irritation. Okay, let's talk a little bit about actives that you might be putting on your skin. Now, in the morning, I also choose to use my chemical exfoliant, and that is something that I would right off the bat recommend for you guys over a physical exfoliant. Now, if you're not sure what the difference is, a physical exfoliant is more of something that physically scrubs at your skin. So whether it's a product like a sponge or a brush that you're using, or it's something that has granules or beads in it to actually scrub at that skin. Now, the reason I say to avoid that is because if your skin is already slightly irritated, that could make it even worse. And really, when you use that physical exfoliant, you are opening yourself to the chance of having little like micro abrasions, which could lead to allowing bacteria into your skin, which could lead to breakouts. And in general, it's just not that great for your skin. So I would always recommend using a chemical exfoliant, which is more going to have ingredients like AHAs and BHAs to gently exfoliate that dead skin. Now, if you haven't been using an exfoliant, I really do recommend it because it's going to help remove all of that dead skin that you may have, which will also help all of the other wonderful ingredients in your skincare get deeper in. Now, I'm not going to go too much into exfoliants. I do have a skincare favorites video here on my channel that I will link for you guys. It was from last winter, but a lot of those products are still favorites that I have, and some I think I'm actually mentioning in today's video. But if you are using an exfoliant, again, the theme here is going to be gentle. If you aren't using one, you definitely want to make sure to be gentle because you want to really like start with a low percentage and build your way up. If you want to know my favorites, you can watch that video, but let's move on into another item in our skincare that all of us need to be using, and that's a moisturizer. So I think that sometimes, and I know for me, I've done this before where it's like, okay, half of my face or almost like 2/3 of my face is being covered up. So I start to like cut out pieces of my skincare routine, but a moisturizer is always very important no matter what skin type you have. So I'm going to talk to you about two of the moisturizers that I love that will address a wide variety of skin types. Now, first of all, we have the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. Now, this is not sexy packaging, it's not bougie. It is a little bit higher priced, but you can really get some affordable deals on it during sales. What I find that this is just a very calming, soothing moisturizer. And this does not have a fragrance or a scent at all. It is actually fragrance free. And I love that it has squalane in it, which really I find is a great moisturizing ingredient. This does also have glycerin, which is going to serve as a humectant, which will help draw that moisture into your skin. And that is something that Kiehl's says right here on the package. It says the combination of ingredients helps reduce moisture loss while drawing and absorbing moisture from the air. And that's something that I've actually found is this area of my face has gotten more dry and irritated from wearing the mask all day. Like I said, I am a hairdresser. I'm in the salon, for 10 hours a day and constantly wearing a mask that whole time. So I have found that it's really important to have hydration both in the morning and at night. And this is one that you can use for either or. I will say if you have oily or combination skin, this might serve as a beautiful nighttime moisturizer for you, especially if you have sensitive or acneic skin, because there's nothing in here really that I don't think that will irritate that skin for you. So this is a lovely one. If you have a drier skin type, this will be wonderful to use morning and night. Now, don't think I left out you combination oily peeps. This is one of my favorite products when you're looking to keep a more mattified effect. And this is the Origins Original Skin Matte Moisturizer with Willow Herb. Now, this is really an amazing product. It actually almost dries down to a powder-like finish on the skin. And I don't mean that it leaves like a powder feel, but your skin instantly looks slightly more mattified while it still feels hydrated and has like a cooling effect. So this has almost like a gel texture to it. I would say it's like a creamier gel texture that dries down to like a velvety finish. Can I use any more descriptive words? Creamy, gel, velvet. But that really is how it feels. It sort of goes through a metamorphosis, and your skin just looks really beautiful. So if you find that throughout the day you do tend to get a little bit more oily, or if this is something that you want to make sure to use just in your T-zone where we do tend to get more oily, it's one that I would recommend. Now for me, this is a product that I tend to only use in the summer months or when I'm traveling to humid climates, because I really do have a normal to dry skin type, but in the summer I do get a bit oily on my T-zone, and that's when I choose to use this one. So I know for those of you that get a little bit oily, you will really want to check this out because it's great. Another option, if you're just looking for a nice light moisturizer, or if you're looking for some anti-inflammatory properties, I really enjoy the Inkey-less Turmeric Moisturizer. This is really just a very lightweight, I would say basic, but not in a bad way, hydrating product. I like the fact that this feels very clean on the skin, and turmeric is a very anti-inflammatory ingredient. So if your skin is already feeling inflamed or you're having problems with acne, this could really help out. So this is another great one to use both day and night. Okay, one more morning product that I want to emphasize, and that is sunscreen. You guys, sunscreen is so important. It is something, again, that I think that when we are assuming that we're going to be wearing a mask all day, that we might skip out on, but we have to remember we still have the walk to the car ride, you know, all of the times that we do get to be outside. So please make sure that you are protecting your skin. Now, if you do want to know some of my favorites, I will go ahead and link another video up above so that you can see the ones that I've really been enjoying. Okay, class, if you have made it this far into the video, you're going to be rewarded with a hands-on activity. Well, it's going to be hands-on for me right now. If you want to, you can play along at home. So this was actually inspired by a question that I received from someone asking about what she could do to cleanse her skin during the day. She's a school teacher, and she, was saying, I really want to have something that I can like wipe away like sweat, oil, germs, all of that. And she was wondering if I had any recommendations. So right away I said, please don't use makeup wipes. I mean, first of all, some of the ingredients in there are not that great for your skin, and especially when you're going to be leaving it on for the remainder of the day. And also, they're not that great for our environment. So I guided her again towards the magical, wonderful world of micellar waters. But I thought what we could do is make our own homemade micellar wipes together. So we're going to be doing that. I think that this is really a great way to have a cleansing option during the day if you so choose to do that. Now, obviously, if you are going to wipe your face, you will wipe off makeup. That's just going to be part of it. But I choose not to wear makeup underneath my mask, and I know that this particular person had the same as well, that she wouldn't be wearing makeup. You guys, honestly, and I know I've said this here on my channel, but when I go to work, I basically have eye makeup on, my brows, and maybe a little concealer because, I have a mask covering this much of my face. I also find that for me, I don't like the feeling of having that makeup on underneath that mask as it's like getting steamed into my skin all day long. So I just choose to forgo the makeup during the day. And if that's the case for you, you might really enjoy these micellar wipes. You also might enjoy it if like maybe you want to wear it in the morning and you want something to be able to clean off some of that makeup if you're going to be wearing a mask later in the day. So let's talk a little bit about the ingredients that we're going to need to make our micellar wipes. So first we're going to start with organic bamboo cotton rounds. Now I got these on Amazon, and this came with 20 wipes in it. What these are is it's essentially a cotton made from bamboo. So it's really great sustainable product. Like I said, if you are using cotton wipes, obviously that's something that you're going to have to throw away, whereas these, you can use them once, throw them into the wash, and then be able to reuse them. Let's say you wanted to do 7 to 10 days worth, you could pop them in this little laundry bag and throw them in with your laundry and cleanse them that way. And because these are so soft and silky, it'll be a great textile experience for you and better for our planet. Now, we are going to need a container to put our wipes into. I have this little glass container that has a lid that goes on it. It's not very sexy and cute, but it does get the job done. You could also, find a really cute little jar that you wanted to keep on hand, but this would be great to have at the office with you, or you could even keep it in your car. It's a great way to have that cleansing option that is better for the environment again. For today, I'm just gonna do a few of these to show you, but I would say probably do about a week's worth at a time. Obviously, we're gonna need micellar water, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this Bioderma. You could use whichever micellar water you would like, but this is of course one of my favorites, so I'm going to use this one. If you have an acneic skin type, or you're looking for something for that extra antiseptic property, you could put in a drop or two of tea tree oil. Now, I'm gonna say right off the bat, as far as essential oils go, make sure to test your sensitivity, and above all else, make sure you are getting a very high grade essential oil. So don't just go to like the local drugstore and get something that's meant to put in a diffuser and just smell nice. You really need a very high quality oil. This is the doTERRA oil. Let me show you guys here. I'm just gonna pop that one drop in. Whoop, well, we got 2 drops. So We'll go with 2 drops. Another nice thing about the tea tree oil is because it has that like vaporish scent. You guys know what I'm talking about. We've all smelled tea tree oil, but it is nice if you find that you tend to like feel a little like claustrophobic or like stuffy underneath a mask, because this will really help sort of open up your airways a bit. So it's a great way to feel a little less like congested. Another ingredient that you could choose to use is witch hazel, which is really a great anti-inflammatory ingredient. Witch hazel is commonly used for things like insect bites and other inflammatory things, so it's a great one when you are wanting to calm the skin. And I do find that it also works as a beautiful toner if you have like lightly oily skin. So you could also put like a tablespoon of witch hazel into your little concoction here, and that would be another great option. Now, once you have your additives in here, we're gonna go ahead and add our micellar water. Now, we're not looking to necessarily like completely saturate those rounds. They don't have to be like squeeze out wet. You just want them to be damp like a traditional like makeup wipe. So I'm just using enough to sort of be able to dunk these in and get them with some of the product on here. That's why it's essential to put in your essential oils or other additives in first before you put in your rounds, because you don't want like all of that tea tree oil or that witch hazel just going into one round. What I do when that's all soaked up is I actually just like to, with clean hands of course, give this a little squeeze to actually combine the liquid into these little wipes. And now I have very nice moistened wipes that I can use. Now you just want to make sure that you have enough liquid that you can absorb evenly into these facial rounds and maybe have a slight bit of moisture left in the bottom. You don't want a huge sloshy mess. That's not necessary. And because we're going to be using an airtight container, I would say you could certainly get through a full work week with only making these once. Now, if making your own homemade face wipes is not your jam, that's totally okay. You can certainly just have, especially like a little travel size of micellar water and some cotton rounds that you use. But I thought that those bamboo rounds were a great way to cut down on single-use products and really try something fun. Okay, our little craft project is over. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, you can certainly just have that micellar water on hand, but I thought that this was a great way to try something different and be kind to our planet. All right, so now getting into our nighttime routine. I would really recommend, especially if you are a makeup wearer, doing a double cleanse. Now this means going through first with one cleanse to be able to get off all of the makeup, all of the oil, the bacteria, the oil, I already said oil, we're all oily evidently, but anything that's on that top layer of your skin and completely cleanse that off. Then you go in with a second cleanser to be able to really deep clean a bit further. And this is really a way to ensure that all of the oil and bacteria is off of your skin and you're starting with a clean slate for the evening. Now, if I'm wearing makeup during the day, I really like my first cleanse at night to be with a cleansing balm. This is my favorite one. This is from pharmacy. And what you'll find with cleansing balms is that they have a more like emollient or oily texture to them. And really that's because oil tends to grab oil. If you've ever heard like attracts like, that's really what you're doing here is you're using something that's a bit creamier, and that will really help A, break down your makeup, and B, attract all of that oil to help remove that from your skin. So you will use this cleansing balm, and then for your second cleanse, I would just go in with a nice gentle cleanser like the ones that we talked about earlier. Now, once you've cleansed, you may want to go in with a few different actives. I will say here, make sure that you are being fairly gentle in what you're using if your skin is irritated. But I'm gonna share with you a couple of my favorites, and the first one is hands down a lifesaver for me when I'm having breakouts. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Max Complexion Correction Pads. Now, what these are medicated, almost like acne treatment pads with salicylic and glycolic acid. So I find that this gives a light, gentle exfoliation to the skin, but it really does also help treat acne. I find that salicylic acid for me is very important when I'm looking to reduce my acne, but this also does have great ingredients like arginine and aloe vera, chamomile, and green tea to help calm the skin. Now, I know I just talked about like not using a bunch of like one-time usage things, but this is a product that I really find worth that, and that's why I try to find these other things in my routine that I can sort of make up the difference for, right? It's all the little changes that we can make. And the nice thing about this one is because it is a quick swipe and go, I'm more likely to use it, which makes it more effective, right? I mean, we've all had things sitting in our bathroom that probably would do wonders, but we just don't put it on our skin, right? So I know that I can very quickly unscrew this, just use one of these wipes. It is textured. It has one side that's a little bit more textured than the other, and swipe this on and I'm good to go. Now, I would also like to talk to you about using retinols. I find that retinols are a hands down important ingredient for every single skincare user. Maybe if you're extremely sensitive, that might not work, but most people I think could find some sort of retinol or retinoid for their skin. And this really helps regenerate your skin cells. It's one of the only things that is found to reduce the signs of aging. And I personally also find that it helps with my acne and my acne scars. However, if you are either new to retinols or if you are already experiencing skin sensitivity, you want to go in pretty easy. And this is where I would recommend another INKEY product that I've recently talked about, and that is the INKEY retinol. And for some reason, I didn't bring it up from my bathroom, but I'll pop a picture of it up here. This is incredibly inexpensive, so it's a great one that you can add into your routine without breaking the bank. But again, it is also very gentle. Okay, one more product that I want to talk to you guys about adding to your skincare when you are a mask wearer is rosehip seed oil. Now, this is not the same as like rose oil, right? It shouldn't smell like roses. If it smells like roses, you got the wrong thing. If it smells a little funky, you're probably on the right track. So this is the Good Molecules rosehip seed oil. Now, a few things about rosehip seed oil and why you should be using it. Number one, it's incredibly moisturizing, but it's not greasy. So this means that it will be great for all skin types, from oily all the way to dry. Now, of course, if you are incredibly dry, this might not be the only moisturizer that you need at night, but it is one that's great to add into what you're currently using. Now, another reason to use this is because of its dose of vitamin C, which is going to be anti-aging and brightening on your skin. So this is a great way to help reduce sun damage. I do also find that it can help lighten pigmentation from acne scars. So if you're already suffering from acne and you're looking to help reduce that, this is one way that you can add that benefit into your skincare. Speaking of acne, this is really great to help prevent acne because of vitamin A and the anti-inflammatory properties that this oil has. So you're talking about anti-aging, anti-acne, pro-hydration, and pro-glow. What more could you ask for in an item? So this is definitely an ingredient that I would recommend getting into your skincare. Now, I really do like Good Molecules. This you can get on the Beautylish website. The Ordinary does also have a great rosehip oil as well. So those are the two that I would recommend to you, and they are both at a great price point. Whew, okay, you guys, I feel like I've been sitting here for a while talking to you guys about skincare. So if you're still here with me, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope that you found this valuable. So let me know in the comments down below what you found helpful from this video. And if you have any tips for your fellow viewers, please leave them down in the comments as well. I love that we have this community where we can share our ideas with each other. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. Stay safe, and I will see you really soon.